link data coming from industrial environment within IT or cloud applications. Okay. Also, we are going to use multiple commands or methods called get, post, put, patch, all right, based on the REST API structure. And then we are going to show you within a demonstration, a little demonstration about how we do this with our solutions, all right here. Okay. So, guys, first of all, let's start with the industrial connectivity. Since many years ago, we have been working with multiple environments under the industrial field, such as PLCs, such as controllers, such as DCS, such as RTUs, such as sensors too, all right? And those devices have been developed by multiple vendors, such as Rockwell Automation from Allen Bradley, okay? Such as Amran, Siemens, Schneider Electric, okay, Yokogawa, Mitsubishi, whatever. And those vendors already gave to those devices a way to communicate through it, any other applications. That is called the communication protocol, actually. So you will be seeing that Allen Bradley used Ethernet IP. You see that Schneider used Modbus TCP or RTU protocol. You see that cell relays use the NTT protocol. You see that Siemens comes with its own protocol too. And the way that the vendors actually put a communication protocol to those devices is that sometimes they need to share information from its own plant floor data to multiple applications, including an SCADA, including an HMI, including a database, an SQL, including also a web server, including also a business intelligence system, including also a broker on the cloud. And that's why the REST API, it is a great idea in this case to move data from our controllers to multiple IT applications, okay? And that's why, actually, REST API or REST protocol, it is not pretty much a protocol, it is a data structure actually, that also allows us to communicate multiple applications between each other using the protocol HTTP or HTTPS. It also allows to get or retrieve data in two formats, or more specific two formats called XML or even JSON format. Okay, and we use the APIs to communicate between multiple applications. Okay, but what is the benefit of using actually a REST API model of communications? Well, first of all, the easy automation of the systems, which it is already also based on HTTP, easy integration. Right now we use XML for everything. Okay, efficiency of sending information and in a real time or historical data too, and also the security, because we are also this protocol or this method actually, it is implemented based on HTTP or HTTPS, which allows you to use security tokens, which allows you to use bearer tokens, and also which allows you to use certificates too. Okay, so under the REST communication, under the REST structure, we use something called methods. And what is methods? What is a method? The method is pretty much a command that we use during the communication between a REST client and a REST server, okay? And the method, it is made by multiple paths that we use to get data, to post data, to put data, or even to delete or patch data. The most common that we're going to see is the get, the post, the put, and the delete too. The get is the use once you get information from any REST API server. It is a command to retrieve data. The post is the way that you can you can manage and you can write information through the REST API client or the REST API server. And the put is the way that you can change the data structure in the REST API, and also the delete too. That is the same thing, that you have to delete information or delete any kind of line during the data structure, okay? So also there's an architecture based on client and a server, in which the client will be requesting information and also the server will be sending all the information that is already retrieved by the client. And they are using HTTP or HTTPS protocol. That's it. It is pretty much simple. But actually, we have been talking about industrial devices. We have been talking about REST API, but how we link those, let's see, those topics between each other. Okay, we are actually working in an industrial environment in which we are taking data from our PLCs and sending to an SCADA. But right now, the needs of our customers, the needs of our integrators are to send that same information, but process it and also manage and send it to any other application, not also an SCADA. In this case, you will be using AWS as the final or end application. You will be using Power BI from Microsoft Azure, so you can treat the data and generate your own dashboards. You can send information to UBDOTs. You can send information to Cloud Studio. You can send information to SAP, actually, over REST API. And also, you can send information to any other application, also customized by its own developers that receive information over APIs. Okay, so the way we link this is over a platform called vNode Automation. Okay, vNode Automation is an industrial IoT gateway. It's an industrial IoT platform that allows us to link two worlds, the OT world within the IT and cloud services applications. That's the way our platform is a modular platform that allows us to communicate to multiple industrial environments, system PLCs, sensors, and we can link that information and parse all the data over a HTTPS or HTTPS protocol through any other application that allows to receive that information in that format over JSON or XML. That's why we use the REST API, actually. Okay, so we have two versions of the REST API under our modular platform called vNode Automation. We use the REST API server model, which allows us to send information coming from our PLCs straight to any other API client application. And we have the other one that is the REST API client. In this case, we can retrieve data with our vNode Automation platform coming from any web application, coming from any web page, coming from any sensors, from any web servers that is already talking REST API. And we use that information to link it within other applications. In this case, I don't know if you know about smart sensors from ABB. They are using a gateway that retrieves information over REST API. So we read that information over REST API, taken from the sensor, and we link it to the SQL database. Okay, this is pretty much a little bit of examples. So we're gonna see actually a demonstration about the two models of this. The REST API server model, okay, which allows us that we are going to take data from any PLC, and then we can send it directly straight to a Power BI as an example. Okay, how we link that information. Power BI is a REST API client. vNode with its REST API server will connect straight to the REST API client of Power BI, and we will be seeing data right there. Okay, and the other part will be the REST API client, in which we are gonna read a web application, which it is a web page, and we will take data and we will show you in a table actually. Okay, what are the main features of the REST API server model from vNode? Well, actually, it's an easy configuration. All vNode platform is an easy configuration because it is already a solution ready. Actually, it is out of the box. Okay, the security, it is based on certificates and also actually on tokens and basic authentication. And we support HTTP or HTTPS by using any kind of the methods such as get and post. Okay, within the REST API client is the same thing. It is an easy configuration. The security, it is based on passwords and tokens. We support both protocols, HTTP and HTTPS. And also we use multiple methods such as get, post, put, patch, and delete. Also, what is really good with the REST API client model is that we can parse the payload response coming from the server. Okay, so we're gonna switch actually to the demonstration right now. So just give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna switch and I'm gonna show you how we do this. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, we're gonna use this one. This is my test environment right now, you will see. The first of all that we're gonna need to know is how we can get vNode in our computer, how we can get vNode in our plant, how we can test vNode actually. So you guys, you must really know about that. You can download vNode in this moment, at this moment actually from our webpage, and you can start testing it right now because it is a free trial right now. And everything that you see right here in my demonstration, actually you could be doing it in your own implementations right now with no restriction of anything, all right? So the first of all, you have to go to any kind of web browser and you go to vnodeautomation.com, all right? Going to vnodeautomation.com is the webpage of vNode Automation. If you go to downloads, you will be seeing that you can download vNode in multiple presentations based on your operating system, actually. So we have vNode to be implemented on Linux, on Debian, on Ubuntu, on CentOS, also on Linux, on embedded environments such as ARM. And also we have vNode to be implemented on Windows. So you can choose which one you will gonna use on your implementations, depending on your requests or your needs, okay? Also, you can see that the models that we are using, you can see all the information about the models right here. And also, if you go to downloads too, and the text documents, you will be seeing the user guide, how to use vNode, the manuals of each model. Okay, so you see the REST API client model manual, the REST API client, REST API server manual. So you can use everything related to this. Okay, so you can start testing everything. Okay, so I'm gonna download the software. Actually, I'm going to downloads. I'm gonna download. I'm gonna use vNode on Windows actually. So I already installed it right now. Okay, so I download it, and then once I install vNode, it will appear under a web browser access. So we just need to use any web browser to access the platform to web user interface. Okay. So how we get into the vNode, we just type the IP address from the computer in which vNode is already installed, and the port number that will be customized, actually 8003. It will prompt you to the first pane of the window in which you will be showing a user and password. The user by default is admin, and the password is vNode in lowercase. Okay. You can create multiple users. You can create multiple roles in your users. Depends on your needs on your project. Okay. So the first pane, you will be seeing that there is a navigation part in the left side of your window, and you will be seeing that there is a real-time data, historical data, which means that you will be seeing all the data that is already vNode taking or pulling from any data source right now. Okay. And if you go to alarm, that means that vNode can create alarms based on the data it is retrieving. And if you go to system, it is the first part in which you are working a lot. Okay, the first part in which you can configure multiple models. Remember that vNode is a model platform, which means that you are going to use the models you need only. And in this part, we are going to use a model for industrial connectivity. Mostly of the time, these guys, I'm going to use Modbus for this example. So we have a PLC right here. Let me open it. And this is a PLC, simulated PLC with Modbus protocol, okay? And we have right now, actually, under the vNode, if you go to models, we are going to create a new model. Create a new model, and if you create a new model, we can select from the dropdown the name of the model called Modbus client, which means that we can communicate to any Modbus environment. But if we want actually to communicate to Siemens, we can select from the dropdown the model that is referred to the Siemens communication, or even to ABB, or even to the MP3 protocol. Whatever you need, you just need to create it right here. Okay. So actually, once we do this, once I created the model for Modbus, actually, it is going to prompt right here on the left side. I create a channel. Actually, we can create as many channels as devices we have right now. So there's no limitations on tags and connectivity with vNode Automation platform. So we create a meter actually that is connected through this PLC simulated from Modbus. Okay, and we create a communication to the Modbus protocol. Okay, we create the ION, and we have all the information, and we see the tags that you see right here. There is Modbus meter. I create a tags. Okay, those tags right here that you see, they are coming directly or straight from the communication from the model of Modbus client. And if we want to see the data, we just want to go to data real time and go to Modbus meter, and you will see the data is actually showing up. Okay, but once I get that data, what can I do with that data? Where should I can send that data actually? And in this case, if we have a Power BI, or even if we have a web server, or even if we have any other web application, such as a web form or our cloud environment, we can use REST API server to link that data to that application too. In this case, we are going to use actually vNode. We are going to use actually the vNode REST API server model to link the data to any other application. Okay, that means that all the Modbus data that I am reading right now, I'm going to transform to the XML or JSON format that will be sending by HTTP or HTTPS with the vNode REST API server. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to configure the REST API server. Going to models, create the same model, actually the REST API server. And if you see like this right here, I'm going to create my server right now. I'm going to select that we can use both methods, actually HTTP or HTTPS mode. We can change the port number of using actually the HTTP port for REST API. And also we can manage multiple certificates. We can use a own certificate coming from vNode Automation that is a entity certificated. And also we can import another one, okay? Then we can select under users, how many users we can create based on the connectivity of REST API. And we are gonna use vNode user. I created a vNode user with a basic authentication, okay? That's it. It took me like 1 minute to configure REST API server. But now how I can see that data in API client applications right now. So for this example, actually, we have a Postman, first of all, that we used for testing data. This is an URL or path, actually, okay? The URL path is actually the path in which the data will be published, okay, or located by using the most important commands, such as get, post, put, delete, whatever, okay? So in the first of all, actually, we're gonna see that we have the first part in which is the command, and this path that you are seeing, it is already write it on the manual from vNode Automation. So every path that you are going to use for read or write or put, you can search on in the user manual of vNode, actually. And once you get that data, you will be seeing that there's a lot of information actually showing up right here, okay? Like this one, okay? So we have a lot of information. This is pretty much a JSON format that we are going to use. And this JSON format retrieves all the information coming from the Modbus meter that vNode is already retrieving for the PLC, all right? And then this information, it is pretty much in real time right now. And also we can get data actually in historical data too, like this one, okay? So this is a Postman, which it is a test API client. But what about if you use a production application such as Power BI? So in Power BI right now, we use the same path that we use under this one, like this. See that? I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go straight to the Power BI, okay? This is Power BI desktop, actually, okay? It's being as Power BI desktop, it only works under the same computer, actually. So you go to get data, and if you go to web, you are going to post, actually, to copy the path of the vNode server, REST API server, making any kind of search. If you hit on OK, you will be seeing that there is a table, and this table will be showing up all the information of the tag with the tag name, the request and the request start and date, and also the data that is already retrieving. It is pretty much simple, actually, to get data in Power BI with vNode Automation platform, okay? This information is based on a table. For those who are Power BI developers, you can use multiple tools under the Power BI to generate a dashboard, a trend, whatever you got. But at this part, you will be, you right now are seeing that vNode can retrieve information straight to the Power BI, okay? This is the part in which we are using REST API server, all right? Remember that if you have any kind of questions, please put it on the chat and Alberto will be answering all your questions, okay? So the next step of the demonstration is how we get data from a REST API server with the REST API client from vNode Automation, which is the other part of the demonstration, okay? So how we do it actually, instead of creating the REST API server for sending data over or HTTP, we are creating the REST API client model. In this case, we are going to read any REST API application and use that data to share with another protocol in another protocol with another application. Okay, so we use an AccuWeather. AccuWeather is a web page in which you can show all the weather conditions from your country, from your zone. Okay, this one, see that, and it comes with an API. Okay, so vNode can communicate to the API. Yes, we can communicate to the API. How we do it? So we can create, as the same thing on the REST API server, we can create as many as REST API applications you have right now with no limitations, with no tag limitation, with no connectivity limitations. Okay, so we can create a new channel called AccuWeather, and we select the protocol, first of all, that we are going to use to read the information from the AccuWeather application. We use HTTP, actually. The host will be the URL from the API, and also the port number. In this case, for HTTP, you use the port 80, okay? We create a request. A request will be managed by the command or the method. If we select get or put a post, actually, we're gonna get information from that. And actually, there is a trigger that said that every 60,000 milliseconds, actually, we can retrieve information from the API. With the response parser, that means that everything that we are gonna read from the API, we need to parse to organize better and to actually to customize the data too. So we use the JSON format, actually, and we use JavaScript script in which we are going to read temperature, max temperature, min temperature, and the weather conditions. Okay. This part also you can use it, and with JavaScript code, you can change everything you want. Okay. Once I did this, I'm going back here actually to the API weather. Okay, like this one. And I am going actually to go to API reference, and I'm going to see to forecast. Okay, that means actually I'm going to select my API key that I have right now. And if everything is well, actually right here to daily, I'm going to copy my API key so to see what is the weather condition from this location, which it is Barcelona, actually in Spain. So I'm going to send a request, and it will retrieve me all the information. See, maximum, minimum value, and actual maximum value. Okay, so if we go straight to the vNode Automation platform right now, I'm going right here. I'm gonna enable my communication to this. Also right here in AccuWeather too. Going to yes, hit on save. And if everything is okay, we're gonna see the data actually seen in my vNode too. Okay, let's see, there is right here. It is AccuWeather REST, actually, you see that. So 58 and 42, which means the same data that we are retrieving, actually, like this 58 and 42 is the same data that we are reading from vNode. But what we can do with that data, actually, that vNode is already reading from a REST API client server, I'm sorry. Well, we can share with SQL, we can log in information in SQL, we can share with an SCADA. Also, we can share it with another protocol. We can link that information to another application, such as a broker on the cloud. And that's it. That's pretty much the way that we can configure actually a platform which allows us to make everything that we need just in one single environment. I don't know if you have any kind of questions related like this. Any kind of questions? I'm gonna go to the chat actually. Second. Okay. Remember that vNode can be installed in multiple operative systems, such as Windows, Linux, okay, or even embedded environments, such as ARM, okay? Oh, wow, I see that Alberto already answered all the questions. I think so. Okay, we have no limitations in quantity and also connectivity too, okay? Right now, we can you can test vNode automation right now. If you go to vnodeautomation.com to downloads and start downloading the software, you can install on your computers and make some tests. Also, if you want a full demonstration about all the product and all the features and functionalities, you can request to Alberto or me, in this case, to have a full presentation of the product. By the way, actually, under Vector Business, which it is the vendor of vNode Automation, we have actually a great line of workshops in this part in which we can teach all engineers and we can certify multiple engineers in different technologies, such as OPC, OPC UA, industrial protocols and networks. We can certify engineers also in cybersecurity under the industry, and SCADA too, and the part of rules for the SCADA for developing SCADAs actually too. So these are the calendar for the next workshops that we will be teaching in the next year actually. And if you have any kind of questions, please do not hesitate and contact us. All right. Anything you need from our side, we will be happy to help you. I don't know if you have any kind of questions again. Okay, have downloaded and installed and is refusing to start the service. Colin, you have to, under the installer, right click, select run as administrator and run it again, please. This is because in any application that you are going to install under Windows, it must need administrator permissions to have access to the registry. So we recommend that installing vNode Automation or any other application, you must need to right-click, run as administrator, so we have all the permissions to get in to the registry, and the application will not miss any DLL or any other appliance during the installation. So we will be installing in a good way. Okay, any other question? Remember that you can contact us. Those are our numbers, actually phone numbers. United States and also Europe and Spain. Actually, we have in our webpage all the other regions in which we are present actually. And if you need anything else from our side, please do not hesitate and tell us, okay? Yes, actually, yeah. A vNode, sometimes it is really good using as an OPC server actually, because we have an OPC UA server too. So the data that you are reading with vNode over Modbus or over Siemens, you can retrieve it over OPC UA server too. So it's a good idea to use that. Remember that the main reason of vNode is to take data from any protocol and send it to another protocol or send it to another application, no matter what the vendor or even the protocol we are using too. So we can support multiple protocols, we can support multiple applications. Also, vNode can be installed on Dockers too, on virtualized environment, on cloud environments such as an EC2 and Amazon Web Services too. Mostly of our customers, they install vNode on cloud, okay? And also it can be installed on premise too. Okay, so if there's no more questions right now, please, I invite you to download vNode right now. Don't worry, you can test it, every model of the product right now with no limitation. And if you have any kind of project or any kind of question you related with this, please contact us. So for now, I'm gonna end the meeting. So thank you all guys for attending this webcast. I am really, really, really happy to see you all under this webinar. And remember, if you need anything else from our side, please contact us. Okay, so thank you very much. Hope you are well and be safe. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.